This is the UI for a personal dashboard application that I've been working on. And I started out by making this UI. So basically the way it works is you have a buffer. You start out with a single buffer. You can split the buffer into multiple. When you create a new buffer in this way, you get a command line. And you can use this command line to get a variety of new buffers. The first one is commands. This just gives a list of commands you can use. So one of those is tasks. Like I said, this is a personal dashboard, so there's a registry of tasks. Another command you can use, and you can replace a buffer with commands by clicking the triple dots, is scores. So the main underlying data structure here is scores. So my idea, because of personally how I want my personal dashboard to be, is made up of scores. So I can make number go up. That's my gamification element. So there are basically two different types of scores. There are quantity scores, which are measurable, like for example, cardiovascular health, or amount of monthly cash flow, number of administrative tasks I need to do, things like that. And then there's composites, which are calculated from quantities and other composites sometimes. So like FinH overall, this is a composite score of financial stability, derived from things like specific things like income, debt. So FinH in this example would be a composite. So if I click on an index ticker at anywhere, it'll normally try to open up a new buffer unless there's no space. So for example, if I close out this one and then I click FinH, it'll split and get a new buffer that is for FinH. So that's the second way to create a new buffer. You can just click on any ticker, and if there's enough space, there's not in that case, but if there's enough space, it'll add a new buffer. So let's see what else. If I mouse over a ticker, it will show me immediately its relationship to any other buffers on screen. So if I mouse over OLPF, in addition to give me tooltips, multiple tooltips, it should just be one, of the description of what it is, it will also highlight the formula underneath. So as you can see, this is a composite score that's made up of other composites, for example, FinH. So FinH is highlighted in reddish, and it's highlighted in the formula, and then the same color, the buffer is highlighted, so you can immediately see that relationship. And then if I were to mouse over a ticker inside of a buffer, the same thing would happen on sort of a secondary level. So the FinH buffer is also open, so you get the highlighted formula there, so you can immediately, the user's attention immediately goes there. And then it actually goes to a third degree as well. So if I were to bring up, as you can see, there's a hierarchy here. OLPF is calculated, among other things, using FinH. FinH is calculated, among other things, using NWTR. I honestly don't even remember what that is. It's a primary measurement. It's a quantity. And I forgot what it is, but here's actually the explanation. It is current net worth minus net worth 6 months ago, so it's a change in net worth. And then that's over a normal. Okay, yeah, so it's a percent change in net worth. 6 months rolling average growth rate. There you go. So I can see what that is. If I wanted more details, I can also pop that down and see this, the historical data, and then a shorter, concise description of it. And if I don't want to see the graph, then I can also switch to just a list of values. These are, of course, example values. And I also haven't established fully what that, what all the units mean in every single one. This one obviously is, and that would be a pretty sweet growth rate. So aspirations. Anyway, back to what I was saying though, with the hierarchy. So if I highlight OLPF, you get this kind of highlighting. And then if I were to highlight FinH, which is not the main ticker of the buffer, it would highlight the formula in the appropriate buffer, and it would highlight the other buffers that are part of that other formula. So it goes to 3 degrees, which is pretty cool. So it's very easy to see the relationship between different tickers. And let's see. That is about all the functionality that I have here. Oh, I forget what some of the tickers are. Oh, let's get that back up. Yeah. Other than, obviously, there's this bug where for some reason I can't get a ticker to come up when I have none, so I'll just reload real quick. Yeah, so I don't know what that was about. But obviously still working out some bugs, but that is the basic functionality. Oh yeah, the one more thing is if you drop down, you can also see the components as scores, and they're highlighted as well. And so you can see those exact values if you want to, and then you can also see the icons. If you wanted to check out at a glance if this composite score is made up of only other composites, you could see that. And you can also change to different time differentials. But yeah, so that's like a good several minutes of rambling. That's basically what I have so far in the grid view for this personal dashboard UI. And next, I'm going to work on adding the ability to create a new ticker within the interface. And then from that point on, basically the roadmap is integrating data pipelines automatically, integrating a quick system for manual entry for stuff that has to be manually entered, and then working in a data pipeline with Jira. I considered putting in a task and project management thing baked into this, but I realized that's probably not smart. It's better to just use Jira and then just have a stream of data from Jira to here to see how many tasks need to be completed. Tasks will be, of course, weighted in Agile and Scrum. You have plenty of different scoring systems to do, burn down all that, and those are just numbers that can be imported here. This doesn't need to have a project management thing within itself. But yep, that's where we're at. Devlog 1 over.